Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating method for upgrading, well, your internal performance system. It's not about learning a bunch of new skills, but about literally rewiring how you operate from the inside out. So let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with a question that I think we've all felt. Why is it that you can have the best plan, the best training, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but when the pressure's on, it all just falls apart? In that one crucial moment, you just don't do the thing you know you should do. It's super frustrating, and it happens to the best of us. And this is where things get really interesting. See, the traditional way of fixing this is to focus on your behavior, give you a new script, a new technique, and sure, you might get a short-term spike from that, but those results are so fragile. The IM method, though, it takes a completely different road. It focuses on stabilizing your internal state first, arguing that if you want stable performance, you've got to upgrade your internal operating system. So here's the big takeaway. When we fail under pressure, it's not because we lack skill. The source material here argues it's way, way deeper than that. It's a nervous system problem. Our biology just goes into fight or flight mode. It's a perception problem. We start seeing threats everywhere instead of opportunities. And at the end of the day, it's an identity problem. We're operating from a place of please like me instead of leading with total authority. Okay, so this brings us to the really cool science behind all this, and honestly, it's a genuine paradigm shift. We're going to look at the biology that makes this whole internal upgrade possible, and it starts with a part of your body you would probably never guess. That's right. According to the research this method is built on, we have two brains, the one we all know about up in our skull, and a second, really powerful neural network that's located right in our heart. And I'm not just speaking poetically here, this is literal. And check this out. Your heart contains around 40,000 specialized sensory neurites. These are basically brain cells. What that means is your heart can think, feel, and even remember, totally independent of the brain in your head. So think about that. Every single thing you experience, it's being recorded in two places at once. So the whole goal here is to get these two brains to sync up, to work together in a state they call heart-brain harmony. Now, this is a real, measurable state of biological synchronization, and it happens at a very specific frequency, 0.1 hertz. And what's so wild is that this isn't just some random number they pulled out of a hat. This research suggests it's the main resonance frequency of the Earth itself. So you're literally getting in tune with the planet. And when you get into that state, the biological changes are just wow. Your body's chemistry completely shifts. Cortisol, the main stress hormone, it just plummets. At the same time, DHEA, which is like the body's top rejuvenation hormone, shoots up by over 100%. This chemical cocktail is basically telling your entire body, hey, you're safe, it's okay to heal and perform at your best.
Okay, so we've got the why from the science. Now let's look at the how. How is this IM method, this operating system, actually built to get these kinds of results?
The person who put all this together is Mabel Iam. Her work in human transformation goes back over 4 decades. As you can see, her journey from being a therapist in Argentina to a global mentor, well, all of that experience, all that work, it's all been poured into creating the IM method. And I love how she structured this. It's designed just like a computer's operating system. The hardware is made up of 10 scientific pillars. That's the biological foundation we've been talking about. And then you have the software, which is made of 27 emotional codes. These are like the apps and programs that you run on that stable hardware to get specific outcomes. All right, so theory is one thing, but how does this actually work in the real world? Let's walk through one of the core rituals from the method to make this really tangible. This is all about going from just knowing something to actually doing it. This quote just nails the whole point of the ritual we're about to look at. It's all about shifting you out of that state where you're kind of asking for permission, looking for approval, and into a state where you are the solution. It's about projecting absolute authority and just owning your space. It's called the Sovereign Command Ritual, and it's broken down into 3 really simple but super powerful steps. First, you get into a specific physical posture. Second, you run through a quick visualization. And third, you activate the state with a single internal command. So here's what you actually do. First, the body. You stand tall, spine straight, feet firmly on the ground. You're physically telling your nervous system that you're in charge. Then comes the visualization. Imagine roots growing from your feet, locking you to the earth. Your spine turns into a pillar of solid gold, and a crown of light forms on your head. And finally, the activation. You internally command the word sovereign and take one deep power breath to just lock that feeling into yourself. And doing a ritual like this isn't just some quick fix for your next big meeting. It's building towards something much, much bigger. It's a fundamental shift in how you actually experience your life. In this slide, man, this gets right to the core of everything. Most of us, if we're honest, spend our lives reacting, just trying to adapt and survive, operating from this place of I have to or I must. The mastery that this method offers is about shifting to a state of authoring your life, where you choose consciously and you operate from I choose. You go from being a character in your story to being the one holding the pen. And that really leaves us with the one big question, right? It's simple, but it's everything we've just talked about. So when you look at your own life, your job, your relationships, just the choices you make every day, are you reacting to it or are you authoring it? Because that answer, well, it changes everything.